What is up, guys? In this video, we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin. There's a lot of things to talk about today. We're going to be having a look at Ethereum. We're going to be having a look at the Bitcoin dominance. We're going to be having a look at the crypto bubble, altcoin season. But before that, let's dive into some breaking news right here. Israel set ready to strike Iran possibly within days, even as new talks set to resume. So you guys can see right here, US-Iran nuclear talks, according to ABC News, are expected to resume in Oman on Sunday. Okay, so Sunday in a few days from now, on the 15th, I believe. This is when they are expecting to hold a discussion. Now, obviously, this is a big disaster because Israel right now is ready to essentially strike the nuclear site without US's help. Now, I don't know if Trump will give Israel the approval to essentially do that, but if they do, you could expect a massive shift in the whole crypto market. We could see right here, Bitcoin right now is currently looking and making a lower high, which is obviously really bad. We're going to be talking about that in just a second. But before we have a look at Ethereum, the Bitcoin dominance, I do want to talk about the past future when Israel and Iran had a conflict or when they attacked each other. So you guys can see right here what happened when Iran attacked Israel on October 1st, 2024, which was, about 8-9 months ago. What happened? Well, Bitcoin took a 10% hit. It went all the way from $66,000 all the way to $60,000. Now, what happened after that? Well, we saw a nice little rebound, a nice little double bottom before Bitcoin took it all the way up to as high as 79 to 80%. Now, you guys can see right here what happened when Israel attacks Iran. Well, the market pumped, which is actually interesting because we didn't see such a big shift in the market when Israel attacked Iran, but we saw when Iran attacked Israel. Why is that? I'm not sure. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here and if we could essentially see a potential move like that, where we essentially have a double bottom like that before essentially going back and reaching all-time highs. We're going to have to see what happens, but it's going to be very interesting. Now, why is this different than this attack right here? Well, this, I don't want to say it wasn't a surprise attack, but it was more like a protest attack, okay? And right now, why is it different? Well, you can see right here that Israel wants to hit their nuclear site, okay? And the whole discussion between US and Iran is pretty much that US doesn't want Iran to have nuclear weapons, etc., which is why Israel is ready to essentially attack Iran. Having a look right here at this double top or lower high right here, obviously making lower highs is obviously bad, guys. This is a sign of a reversal. Now, the big question is, are we going to come back and retest this demand level? We note that this is also a support region. Let me put it on. This is also a nice little support region right here on Bitcoin, sitting at $100,000, rated above $100,000 for that many days, consecutive days in a row, obviously, which is obviously pretty freaking good in my opinion. But the big question is, will this support hold? Now, obviously, this is a bearish line. You guys can see right here that the MACD is losing some steam right here on the daily time frame. It looks like it's ready to come back down. I mean, yes, the MACD doesn't, it's not looking so bullish right now. It looks like we do want to essentially see a reversal on the 3-day time frame. It's definitely losing some momentum. You guys can see right here on the green, currently decreasing. It's only a matter of time before we see this thing shifting red. If we do see this thing shifting red, the MACD shifting red, you could expect the same type of action like we saw right here. What happened when we were essentially consolidating? We turned red. The MACD or Bitcoin took all the way from $108,000 to $109,000 all the way to as low as $74,000. That was, of course, April 1st, 2025, before pumping 80%. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that, and pretty much that's about it. Having a look at Ethereum, guys. Ethereum is the leader of the altcoins. You guys can see on the right side of my screen, the altcoins are pretty much taking a pretty big hit right now. So this is obviously very bad. If Ethereum manages to re-enter this resistance or demand area, okay, this support and resistance right here, this rectangle, horizontal line, whatever you guys want to call it, if we end up coming back down, you could expect altcoins to essentially bleed even more. So you guys can see Ethereum is down and altcoins are absolutely getting obliterated, anywhere between 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to even 7%. Okay, so this is like 3-4 times what even Bitcoin is doing. So it looks like we are coming down. We were in the overbought area. We know what happens when things are overbought. Investors are essentially going to be looking to sell. And what happens right here, it looks like we're most likely going to see the same type of action like we saw, let's say right here. Okay, same type of action like we saw right here when Ethereum was overbought. What happened when Ethereum was overbought? We essentially came back down and pretty much went to $2,500. So Ethereum right now is currently sitting at $2,700, obviously looking pretty good, but we're gonna have to see, is this just a retest? Is this just a retest before continuing to the upside, or will Ethereum finally, or not finally, I don't want to say finally, or will Ethereum pretty much break below this resistance right here, or support, previous resistance that flipped into support, and pretty much trend below that? So we're gonna have to keep an eye on Ethereum, because if that does happen, that would be a pretty good confirmation short, in my opinion, to $2,400-$2,500. And if we do break this level right here, bad news bears for us. Anyways, having a look at the Bitcoin dominance, guys, you guys can see the Bitcoin dominance. Every time we essentially had this nice little wicks to the downside, we always pulled back to the upside, right? We saw a pump right here. We saw another one right here. We saw another one right here. And will we see another one right here is the big question. Now, if we have a look right here at the monthly time frame, you guys know me. An altcoin season is not starting anytime soon until we see the Bitcoin dominance reach 72%. Why 72%? Well, if we have a look right here and we essentially extend that, you guys can see that 70, 73, 72%, whatever you guys want to call it, 72.59. That's when the altcoin season pretty much started. So we had the altcoin season start in 2018, 2017 right here when we reached 72%. We had another one right here when we reached 72%. We had another one right here in 2021 when we reached 72%. And the big question is, will Bitcoin the Bitcoin dominance pretty much reach 72% right here? So this is what I'm targeting right here. I'm not expecting an altcoin season anytime soon until we see something like that. And pretty much that's about it. Having a look at the crypto bubble, obviously, in the last 24 hours, we got white making big gains, 22.9%, SPX up 8.7% in the last 24 hours, but the rest is pretty much deep in red, down between, like I said earlier in this video, anywhere between, 2 to 3 to 4 to even 11%. You could see right here, JITO Sol, JITO is currently down 11%, Doge is down 6%, 7.2%, MKR, Render, TRX, Crow, With. I mean, a lot of these cryptos right now are pretty much down. Overall, in the last week, things are looking pretty good with Fartcoin leading 46%, KAIA up 47%. But pretty much that's about it. Having a look at the altcoin season index, guys, currently still trading but below the 25 on the altcoin season index chart right here on the monthly time frame, guys. Currently dominating. Now, we know when we currently dominate right here, when Bitcoin currently dominates on the month, we usually have a big pump on the altcoin. So can we see money flow into altcoins very soon? We're going to have to see what happens here in the next couple of days, or in the next 3 to 4 days, few days, I would say. And having a look right here at the Bitcoin year, altcoin year index, you guys can see we have not had an altcoin year since a long time, 2022, 2021. So currently still trending at the Bitcoin region. Currently it's Bitcoin year. It's been Bitcoin year. I don't know how long it's going to be Bitcoin year for, but it's definitely not altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance is still high. Israel is trying to attack Iran. Iran is trying to attack Israel. We're going to have to see what happens. If US is going to get involved, can this drag the world into World War III? Will this be the opportunity for essentially China to essentially invade Taiwan? Can North Korea attack Japan? There's a lot of things geopolitic that we're going to have to essentially keep an eye on, because this right here could trigger and flare up World War III, in my opinion. If you guys do like this video, don't forget to smash that subscribe button, leave a like, and I will see you guys in my next video tomorrow.